The whispers are true. NuSkin is rolling out enhancements to its compensation plan. If you want to figure out what they are, then this is the video for you. Hi guys, my name is Kurt Provost and I am your guide to all things NuSkin. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time, have a look around. There's over 250 videos where I explore the products that you see behind me and answer many of the questions that you probably have on your mind. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a like so you can join the community of almost 13,000 other NuSkin aficionados and get to know this company and these products on a much deeper level. Now, let's take a look at the new compensation plan changes. If you're in North America, you may be familiar with this already because you guys are trialing it right now, and many of you will start experiencing the differences in your paycheck this week, most likely. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. In Australia, we're not experiencing this until early next year, I believe. So I will do a more in-depth video once it rolls out completely. It's not going to all markets because not all markets function the same way. Places like China, India, Vietnam operate slightly differently. So if you're in one of those markets where it's not quite the same thing, just share this video with someone who's outside of there to educate them on the changes that are happening for them. So what's changed with this new plan? Well, NuSkin always pays out to the distributor force over 40% of the revenue that comes into the company. That is a very generous amount. That hasn't changed. It's just the distribution of that money will look slightly differently. Now, traditionally, we had the velocity compensation plan, extremely generous compensation plan, changed many people's lives, mine being one of them. And it is a simplification of that comp plan. So what we had with velocity was a front, a middle, and a back. I called it good, great, even better. And so at the front, you were mainly selling products. That's how you would make money. In the middle, you were mainly helping and training your team to do the same thing, and you were experiencing a percentage of the overall volume of your team. And at the backside of the compensation plan was leadership, and that is always the most generous portion of the compensation plan because NuSkin really wants leaders and is willing to pay extremely well for great leadership. So if you are a natural leader, then this is your new home because NuSkin will pay you better than anywhere else in the industry for those qualities. Now, what has changed with those three? There's some slight adjustments, but the largest adjustments are coming from the middle, where there is more money being allocated to the front end now. So it is more exciting for a brand new person. Let's take a look at a few of the finer details of this new comp plan, and I will compare it with velocity, just verbally. If you don't know what velocity is, don't worry about it. Going away. This is the new comp plan. That's something that is better to focus on. So with velocity, we had the sharing bonus, and sometimes that was great, and other times, a lot of the times, it was underwhelming. And that's because it was a different value on every single product. Sometimes it was $1 and other times it was $20. And sometimes it was great in your market, but in another market you sold something and you felt like nothing for it, or something very small for it. So that wasn't the most motivating thing for new people. So NuSkin has recognized that. They have scrapped the sharing bonus and they've simplified it by saying you will make a percentage of everything that you sell, and that percentage will be paid on the dollar value of the product. This simplifies it so much because it means we don't have to go into that rather complicated explanation of what the point value is of the product. We still will have to do that at some point, but just up front, it's very easy. You just say you'll make this much percentage of this much money. Everyone can calculate that. Everyone can figure it out. And what gets even better with this is that if they sell more products, that percentage will increase, and it's an effective percentage. So instead of a marginal percentage like the velocity plan where you would get between 5 to 40% in that middle column, I'm jumping around a bit, but it'll make sense in a moment, 5 to 40% in that middle column, but that would mean that, all right, once you hit a certain amount of volume in your group, every point after that you would get that new percentage on. and so on and so forth. So it would marginally increase like that. It meant that the average percentage that most people in that middle column were getting was only around 13%, something like that. Instead, with this new comp plan, it's one that is effective. So if you get 4% because you sell one thing, but then at the end of the month you happen to sell 5 other things, and that bumps you into an 8% on the cash value of those products, they will go back and pay you 8% on that first product that you sold. So it's effective across the entire month, and that is really powerful. It just means, yeah, if you share this, you'll make that much, but if you share a bit more, you will double your money and you'll get paid retroactively on it. That's really, really cool, and I think that's a very powerful tool for changing people's behavior and really motivating them to go out there and share these products more, because you're incentivized to do that. The more you do it, the more you're going to make on the sales that you've already made this month. So that's one really big change. What are the percentages? So it starts at 4% and goes up to 20% on the cash value of the products that your customers are purchasing. And that's something that's totally within your control because they are your direct customers and consumers. The second big change in this new comp plan is something called the referring bonus. This is totally new. We don't really have anything that exists like this right now, and I think this will be the one that makes the difference. And although it may appear for some people in that middle column of velocity that this comp plan may be a downgrade because it's going so much on the front end for the new people, I think with the referring bonus, this is where it'll really make up for the changes and in the long run be much more valuable for you. So the referring bonus is where you will be paid a percentage on your affiliates, your brand affiliates, customers. So it incentivizes you to help your brand affiliates to go out and learn the skills of this business, which is sharing these products into the market and gaining a solid and consistent consumer base. And as a result of that, you will gain a percentage of those customers' sales as well, which will range from 4 to 24% on the cash value of those purchases. And as someone journeys through the compensation plan with NuSkin from the front, middle to the back, the leadership area, you will still gain the referring bonus on the customers that they have built, and that customer base will be expanding with time, of course. That is a very new, lucrative pathway for distributors, and it's something that I think it really simplifies the business for us because we can just focus on those two things right there: finding customers and helping our team to find customers as well. And if we can do those two things well, then we will inevitably help people transition through to the leadership column, where they start getting paid 5% on every brand representative that they have within their organization, just like they always have with Velocity and the comp plan that was there before Velocity. So they are the key changes right there. Building bonus that was a 5 to 40% marginal rate with Velocity has turned into an effective rate of between 5 to 10%. So if you're doing under 2,000 points, it'll be a 5% on your group. And if you're doing over 3,000 points, it will be a 10% effective rate. And that is something that I think largely will be balanced out by the referral. Anything that people on the exceptional end who had really large volumes might find that, okay, that building bonus is going to be less than what I was getting when I was at 40% marginal rate if I was doing huge volume. That is kind of the outliers right there. That will be most likely offset by the referring bonus that you will be gaining from your team members and also your brand representatives as a result of this new bonus that they're bringing out. So depending on what your organization looks like, how you've gone about building your business, it'll be interesting to see how this potentially impacts you. But I think if we alter our behavior to focusing on client acquisition, quality client acquisition, and assisting our teams to do the same thing, we will greatly benefit from these changes over time. So I'm excited about this and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments below. There is more that I can go into on this, but I'll save it for the new compensation plan video for a brand new person. Then we don't have to do the comparisons with velocity because it might get confusing talking about an old system when we should just be introducing the new system. Alright guys, my name is Kurt Provost. I am your guide to all things NuSkin, and that is all for today. I hope it was useful for you. Let me know if you have questions below or if you have some experience with the new comp plan because you're in North America and you've already experienced the changes already. I would love to hear what you think of it in the comments below, and I will see you in a future video guys, because you hit that subscribe button and you will be sure to see the notification when it launches. Ciao guys.